Chris Froome will resist pressure to take a break from cycling over doping claims and instead plans to return to racing next month while fighting to clear his name. French newspaper L'Equipe reported on Tuesday that the Tour de France champion would be employing medical specialists to explain how his abnormal test reading for asthma drug salbutamol at the Vuelta a España in September had been caused by a kidney malfunction. But with that process likely to take months, the Team Sky rider is facing calls to resolve the matter more quickly because he plans to contest the Giro d'Italia in May and the Tour in July. Chris Froome is battling to clear his name following a failed drugs test at the Vuelta a España. Leading French rider Romain Bardet has said it would be a catastrophe for the sport if Froome races while facing a ban. And Giro boss Mauro Vegni told L'Equipe on Tuesday that he wants the situation resolved before the Italian Grand Tour. The tension would be eased if Froome accepted the adverse analytical finding and began serving a ban. But the Briton has no intention of accepting guilt and will present his evidence to explain the finding probably by the end of the month. At the same time, he is said to be focused on returning to racing, having clocked up 2,000 kilometers in training since the turn of the year. It was reported on Tuesday that Froome's salbutamol levels were, by comparison, very low in the test the day before he was found to have double the permitted limit of 1,000 ng/ml in his urine. His levels were also very low the day after. A skeptic would see that as an indication of abuse. But the sudden rise in levels is central to Froome's argument that a kidney malfunction meant he secreted salbutamol before releasing large quantities immediately before the drugs test. The British rider has already clocked up 2,000 kilometers in training since the turn of the new year. The experts working for Froome, 32, are not ready to submit their defense to the UCI, and until they do, it is difficult to anticipate how the case will develop. That said, the UCI's doping experts are believed to have brought in their own renal expert in anticipation of an unprecedented line of defense. If the UCI are not satisfied, the case will almost certainly go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Indeed, if the UCI accept Froome's explanation, it could still end up at CAS, with the anti-doping agencies entitled to challenge the decision. On Tuesday, Vegni said he could not accept a compromise that would allow Froome to race in Italy, only to then be stripped of the result because of an anti-doping suspension, especially when the Italians have committed to pay Froome and his Sky teammates around £2 million to participate. Froome's case emerged in September and the Giro starts in May, he said. That means there were 8 months to find a solution. I want to believe that's enough time, otherwise we have to despair about our ability to run our sport. The public wouldn't understand it and neither would I. Romain Bardet, left, believes it would be a catastrophe if Froome raced while facing a ban.